but that they've gone from it to
like
this
a bronzy gold
this
this
bright green, and it's like a chaos green is how
Neon
I would
green.
describe
It's like your
it.
shirt green, Harry. That's
Yeah, that's actually a good. Yeah, man. Well, yeah, I'm rocking the NIP rebrand.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing NIP clothes right now, so yeah.
What you on about, mate? That's not the NIP
That's
logo.
the old logo, yeah. Someone retweeted a photo of someone with a tattoo of the NIP logo, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh.
that must feel shit, must it?
Well, I mean,
I wouldn't say so because it represents a time as well,
Yeah.
not just a team. It's not like he's a brand ambassador or something, unless he actually is. Then it's weird.
That's why James got it on his ass as well, because you know it's forever.
I actually got the old new Dig tattoo on me.
I'm lost.
You know, like the one before this.
The previous one is probably how most people would say it in
Previous
English.
would be the better way of saying old new.
The old new one. You got the two-dimensional MS Paint owl tattoos on yourself. Bloody hell! I wonder how much someone got paid to make that.
Oh. Well, look at this, man. Look at this. We actually have Counter-Strike on our screens. Oh, it makes me happy. And, well, it makes Forest happy as well. Forest going to beat JKS in the opener. And Dignitas, this is a good little start for them. Halzerg waiting back inside of this this A site, and he's got teammates all around him. Yugi trying to get stylish with it, giving us little 180s and whatnot, isn't he? Look at him go. Now, you got to land the shot. If you're going to go for the 180, there you go. He gets it.
Nice.
Gets it locked in. Good boy, Yugi. Oh.
Nice little fake though. It baited everyone over. Even Dig falling away from the B bomb site, climbing up the stairwell, and it's given Blame so much room as he's crept into the CT spawn. Cole, a man up in the post plant, double heaven retake. They're going to have to drop, and that'll be heard by Blame. Already the flank in, Rush with another, and oh sorry, he's shooting out from short rather. It's Forest in a clutch. 1 on 3. Has the kit and has 2 players on his plate. Still another in spawn to not be known. Nice shot from Forest. He gets default, though. He crossed through the open. No, Blame takes him out. And Cole, take a pistol.
I missed the contrast between Obo's profile and Blameath's profile. Of like a tiny boy and a giant
right.
man.
Like just the visual of it.
3 Obos,
Yeah.
1 Blame.
The switching back and forth was awesome. But anyway, Complexity got off to the right foot. I think JKS had a P250 down long, which is always great to see. And Complexity are definitely one of those teams who pay attention to detail. We all know how much Blameath watches demos. For the toilets, maybe, from config? Sure, we'll see those later on once the AWPs are out. See, Blame was considering going towards short B, but maybe... Like when you start to enter a tunnel, you can hear players running short B. Perhaps the footsteps on the wood deterred him, but there was no full commitment from Dignitas in that respect. And now their conga line goes back towards the A-bomb site.
Scout will be giving forewarning to Dignitas that Cole are getting closer. That's if they go long. Right now, no one's interested. To contact play out mid, there is that toilet smoke. Freiburg is using it to get ever closer. It will fade soon, and this Deagle needs to do some deathly work as Complexity are 4 men just sat by these toilets. No loitering, Freiburg says, as he sits in wait. The shadow is good, and the shot is better, but only one. JKS trades for the jumping Mac 10, and Yugi has the cover as well. Scout on long does something with a bomb dropped by Forest. Heap is also drawing attention, and SMG grabbed as well. Heap's gone. Forest is throwing himself into the action, into the fray, and leaving Rush alone. Echoed by Dignitas. For sport, maybe more so, but still a great round from Forest and Freiburg. The old NIP guard pushing through the toilets and causing chaos.
You know what's annoying about a guy like Freiburg? He can do it all, man. I remember we were at Katowice. I don't remember what year it was. I think it was 2019, or
yeah,
sounds about right. He was there working his talent, working as an analyst, and then just like, you know, a few months later, hops back in. I can't remember what team he joined exactly, even though I should. But yeah, man. Point is like this guy does it all. He can give you a lecture as to why they've done what they've done, and then he'll do it to you again, but this time in the server. And yeah, Dignitas tying us up at 1-1. Now you got the force buy in for Complexity. I want to see more from JKS, man.
Yeah.
Like, I had a look at how his ratings compared to being in 100 Thieves to being in Cole, and you'd expect them to be lower. I think that's fair to say, right? Like, his kind of role in 100 Thieves is a little different here, and on top of that, right, like EU competition, and we had a whole year of him out in NA. But I really wanted him to be like, I wanted us to see JKS in the server and be go, wow. And I feel like I haven't had those moments yet, so I can't wait to see them when they come.
Talking of like the old 100 Thieves roster as well, it's really cool to see Extremum, I think is the name, with the boys plus banter in the place of JKS.
Oh, bro, that's sick. That's so sick, right? Like,
Europe,
yeah. How banging is it that like all these legendary like Asia and Oceanic players have come together in a team? Like Buntet there, thanks to the experience from Gen G. Man, that's banging. That's so cool. That's such a good storyline. Oh, Halzog's been digged out by Yugi.
Big gaming from Yugi. You love to see it. I feel like I've never, since Heroic, I feel like that's the best Yugi I've ever seen. And I feel like I've never seen it since Heroic. So, hey, no better time than the present, rather. But 2 kills is all he's going to be able to muster. And Freiburg can clean it up. Nice shots nonetheless. It's an eco underway for Complexity.
It will be interesting to see once everything settles and we see the full Complexity trifle, where JKS will sit once they get past that stage of knowing what to expect of each other in various situations. And I think the general strength of the team will rise.
Yeah, I don't even know how they're doing it, if I'm honest. Like, I don't understand how the morale isn't just dumpstered, having to go, like, event to event with a stand-in every time. Because, like, this is a team that likes to do all this preparation and have all these set pieces planned. And they just can't do that. I mean, they kind of can, right? They have
well, at least they're not physically going event to event as before.
True.
So there isn't so much disruption.
No, that's true, right?
I think that makes a significant difference. That they'll generally be in the same place for the most part for an extended period of time. So all that time wasted sitting in an airport, doing this, doing that, is taken away. So I think there's a lot more stability. So in that respect, I don't think there's been a better time for players to work on things and build, because they're playing a lot of Counter-Strike, but they don't have all the different time zones to work in and all the different travel and so on. But it's a lot of added time for better quality of life in general. You don't have to use all that time specifically on Counter-Strike, but it just raises your quality of life overall. Yeah, interestingly enough, I know like professional wrestlers are having the same thing, like in America, because they used to travel once or twice a week to different places in America, just flying on planes constantly and having to book their own hotels and all this kind of stuff. But because of the global situation, they're just in Florida. So they're staying in the same place, living in the same place, wrestling in the same place, which, but just the quality of life is dramatically different.
Must be hard to do socially distanced wrestling. You just kind of yell at each other from 2 meters apart.
Oh, lots of waving.
He's been pressured, man. He's out of the round as Yugi. I like the long aggression here from Dig. It's a nice way to just take all this control. Look what it's done to Complexity. They've got Connector. They don't have anything other than that, other than this B bomb site, so they might just have to commit to it. Or they have to dedicate all this time to going back and now clearing out middle. Dignitas have just given it up. But I also like that decision from Dig. You don't hang around, you don't give away this advantage that you've taken early on, and now you just play the numbers game, knowing that Complexity, you're going to waste a lot of time clearing all these angles that are completely empty.
That is a great joy of Overpass. If you look at the layout of it, it's very stimulating from the CT side. If you try to cover everything all the time, you're stretched a bit too thin. Like the 2A guys have got to work together and so on. But the advantage of an aggressive play is how much time is wasted for Complexity, as we're seeing. Bifflaren speaks very highly of Harre. Thinks he's a great potential future big name in Counter-Strike. So many shadow advantages for the CTs as well once they fall back. Pretty much every choke point you peak, the Ts will concede their shadow before they move through. Config makes his way onto the site now. The rotation's coming through. Harre appears again. First kill for Complexity on the A bomb site. And it will be just a one as Dignitas get another round on the board. Very strong CT side so far.
Yeah, Freiburg and Forest hitting bangers round after round right now. Taking a straight up 5-on-3 from peeking short A and then just falling back safe, making complexity commit. And not much to be done. Only config with a kill. And now another eco for Cole. I feel like it's cheap calling it a 4-1, but man, I think Dignitas are going to win this series, honestly. Like, I don't want to say I hope they don't, but if they don't, it means, okay, good, we've got the complexity that we know have been performing in 2020, but unfortunately, we don't have the roster, right? So, still yet to be seen. Oh, nice shot from Heap. He actually looked really good yesterday as well. You mentioned Harry. He definitely deserves some, you know, congratulation because he looked crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, yesterday when we had Golden and Samuelson on from Fnatic, them and Flaren were talking about, you know, how Sweden kind of fell behind the other Scandinavian countries, right, and actually developing talent and having players to replace like the old guard, as it were. And it feels like, you know, this is kind of Dig's effort to make that happen. And these newer faces alongside legends like Forest and Freiburg look really, really promising, and it adds just so much firepower to this team. In this round, it's all on to Yugi with his Deagle. Now he's given us some really nice Deagle shots as Yugi, but you're asking a lot of him here. So there shouldn't be a way for it, and it's not going to happen. 5 on the board for Dignitas. This is a very, very good start from them. Not really showing any signs of slowing down, and they haven't really felt tested yet by complexity. You know, the rifle round that we saw come through from Cole was when Yugi dies on that long push, and then everything just kind of falls apart from there on out. Also, when they went for the A play, they didn't even really throw any utility to get them in. It was just a lot of dry peaks to take the site. So thus far, we haven't really seen much from Cole, it feels like.
I've been to the Complexity HQ, which is basically in a village that was built for the Dallas Cowboys. They've got their own hospital and everything. It's really insane. And the general facilities and the sports facilities they have there are absolutely bonkers. It's really cool. I hope they get to experience it more once everything clears up, because it's a really special place. Some great staff there. People I recognize in the back. I don't think we ever published a video about it, but it must be lying around somewhere. 5-1 for Dignitas Vi, maybe empowered by their new look logo. Okay, I'll let it go now. Always nice to get that quick look into connect with the AWP. Got to secure your exit as well. Can't outstay your welcome. The HE blowing off the door generally serves to help the CT side, as it's hard for the T's to cover their back while focusing on short B. Nice creep from Config. He'll be traded though by Blameth when he takes him out, and Harry again with a 2K in the short B position. He's got plenty of help as well. Blameth has to go back and collect the bomb and maybe think of a plan B, perhaps on the A bomb site.
Yeah, committing there was essentially death, right? With Dig having 3 players lower. Now they split 2-2 as things go quiet. Yugi getting close to A. He's got to meet big old Freiburg. Or Halzerg, rather. The names, I need to move closer. I can't even read. Nice shot nonetheless. Yugi's gone. And Blame, F, moving in. So essentially 2 1v2s. Can he even get through the first? Toilet smoke down. And either 15-second wait or a wrapping around divider here. Digger even boosting at the back of B as well. They're playing very safe. They're conceding the bomb site. They probably won't concede a plant if he were to go B, because you can surely get that one freebie kill on a crossing player. Very passive setup. Look at that AWP. It's in bank. It's holding the cross to truck right now. So yeah, Blame could be given a plant. He probably won't stick it first time around. You imagine there's someone either truck or dice. And so is it a fake, or does he just want to commit? There's the tap and the fight. Kills Forest. Now he knows he can stick it. 4 seconds as the bomb gets planted. But this should be Dignitas' round. And it is. Halzerg is very quick to respond, knowing Blame had to plant the second time around. It's 6-1 to Dig. And even though Cole had money, they don't have much to show for it.
It might look quite risky there, Hauser going in alone, but I actually love that decision, right? Because, you know, you hear the footsteps coming up and you could see Blame wasn't ready for just the sheer pace of Halzerk. I think he was anticipating the dig. We're going to approach that in the 3v1, right, and play for the retake. Whereas Halzerk just runs straight in early and kind of blindsides him as a result. So, yeah, you know, bomb plant at least for Complexity, but that really is the only positive at the end of that round. 3 players staying alive for Dig means their money's still all good over here on the CT side.
Well then, strong start, but what will the finish look like? We may have to wait to find out, as Complexity have a mixed bag in this buy. A lot of utility, however, but just the one hero rifle for Blamef. The jumping Molotovs, I think I saw 2 going out. Yeah, I can see on the radar, one is for the ramp and one is for the party area, so there is no escape in that respect. They will hear that there's no smoke to put these fires out, so maybe they'll be more expected towards this B bomb site. Heap again with 2.
Oh.
Harry this time take up Blamef. Flashbangs haven't gone as planned for Complexity, and only Yugi remains. So this will be a good money round for Dignitas. No one getting lost. Halzerk on almost $11,000. Heap will soon be losing money by winning rounds, so the situation could hardly be better for Dignitas.
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry. This is Cole's map pick right now, and Train being the second one is map. They haven't really been playing as of late in official matches, so yeah, hoping for a little bit more, hoping for them to warm up into this matchup. The AWP is out and Yugi as well, something to keep our eyes on. We've got one for Halzerk once more. Harry, we played an Overpass MM game last night after the final match, and we went down 7-2 T side. Side. We then bought 5 AWPs and we won every single round left in the half, and then won the
So that's the recommendation you would make now for Cole.
It's so funny. Someone called buy 5 AWPs, and then literally that round it was just bang, 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 and then the round was over, and we clean swept the half.
That's brilliant.
Overpass in a nutshell at times.
See, whenever I think of Overpass games that I've played, the one that just haunts me is where we just lost to Davcost.
Oh, don't.
That is the most irritating one so far, James. We lost 14-16, and it was painful, man.
Shout out Flipside one time.
Gotta give Davcost a shout out, right? You know, think he deserves it. Oh, Freiburg's been spotted, but they're not going to pressure him. They actually give him the respect to get out of there, and Freiburg's going to take that in his stride. Now back inside of this A-bomb site, and alongside him, he's got teammates now to help out. I say teammates, it is just the one, right? Heap here, ready to give him a hand if needed. And he's going to have to. Freiburg alone inside of the bomb site. He just dropped down towards heaven. Freiburg's dinked on the first peak, and now things are really getting a little bit rough for him. He's out of the round, and just like that, Cole, they should be on to their second here because Dignitas are looking to save.
I'm surprised that's the call, right? Like, Heap was coming up. Maybe they doubt themselves there as things get a bit quiet for a second. But yeah, and unless the solo A player, you know, gets away with a kill, it's an immediate 4-on-2. It's almost unwinnable. Save is the right call. They've got a good bit of money left in the old bank accounts, but why waste it?
You don't want to throw good money after bad. You think one buy round is 6K, even Heap's money will be gone in 2 rounds. So there's still plenty of time for things to dramatically improve for Complexity. Take nothing for granted. 2 AK-47s as well, saved by the CTs, is not too shabby. Turns 2 bullets into 1 if you land a shot on the head. That could be a difference maker as well. See the GameStop logo on Rush's jersey. They've been having fun with their shares at the moment. Wall Street bets. Well then, both teams well equipped. AWP on both sides. We'll see if Complexity can have a better start to round number 10. Just a single Molotov from the CTs on this occasion. Around that A area at least. The party playground rather. Oh, where did that come from? He didn't see any of that. Oh, there we go. And again, you see why the CTs blow off the door with the HE grenades. Just never expected that one coming. Very hard to cover.
It nets him 2 kills because JKS, the entire time he's walking out water, he's looking at the door. Rush was in connector. He's looking the wrong way. But obviously he can't be covered unless Rush goes wide. And then he gets re-peeked on short by Harry. So yeah, that's a nice little trick there for Dig to get that door off. And poor Yugi. I actually loved the routing Yugi took there, going fast through the tunnel and posting for a short pick. You know, you're often going to get at least info peeks, right, from a monster player. Maybe a barrels guy showing some leg, or someone even peeking on the headshot angle. Like, that's almost a guaranteed fight if you're waiting long enough. But denied by Forest, who's back at the short side. Cole have made their way deep up long. 40 seconds through the smoke. Config goes. He sees Forest get inside the toilet, but is no question. They've got him trapped. Forest fighting in the corner and helped out by Freiburg. Long play, too late. It's Freiburg with another and Dig onto 8.
They got utterly outmaneuvered from start to finish there. I really want to see Forest POV on that kill. That was super awesome. I might actually download the demo and look at it if we don't have a replay, because I want to steal that plate. Very, very strong stuff. Again, you can't... The idea of having a guy on short is so the CT... I mean, in connector, so... Well, part of the reason is so the CTs can't run down, open the door and shoot your teammates. But if there is no door, then they've got angles that you can't cover from the back of connector. And Complexity were certainly exploited by Dignitas in that round. They've got money for one more, though. But it's starting to run low for Complexity once again.
I've got to say, something that has been impressive about Dignitas so far, both here and in the OG game, is just kind of the sheer number of ideas and almost familiarity with how their opponent likes to approach things, right? You think back to OG, and it felt like they were outcooling OG a lot in that series. You know, they were kind of outmaneuvering them, outreading them. And, yeah, you know, I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, you've got like a very capable team behind this Dig roster. Even looking at the coach, right? Halvor Gullestol. It's not how you say it. It'll kill me if it's more like Gullestol. It's really Norwegian. You have to get into it. But yeah, no man, you can tell that they've been doing their homework on all the teams they've faced so far. That they really are taking this in their stride. All confident, getting ahead of the Molotov, but it's only 1 kill for him. And so now, Complexity left down to 2 again.
Yeah, really struggling to crack the code here. With only 2 players left versus 4, trade frag might not be enough. Footsteps are heard now. Grenades, 2 smoke off the choke points. We've got 2 players by the truck, however. Forest will take 1 out and Freiburg will do the other. The old heads of Dignitas winning a 9th round for Dignitas Vibe. I had to let us sneeze out. Well.
See, something else that's scary, like we were saying the other day, you can always tell when someone's having a really strong CT side if they actually get a bank account built up, because it is really hard to do in this CT half. You know, like if you're losing like 2 players around, you're not getting devastated in terms of the economy, but you're not really making anything. You're not building anything up. So the fact that you've got so much money here means you've been completing a lot of these rounds, you know, with 4 players left standing. And that's impressive. Here's a fast B player, real change of pace out of Cole. We haven't really seen Dig have to deal with one of these yet. So what's going to happen? Oh, there's the little spray down for Heap. And these pistols now getting whittled down. It was a good start with the opening kill, but immediately everything else comes up in favor of Dignitas. They reach double digits. They're up onto 10. And a little reminder here, this is Complexity's map pick.
Yeah, James, you know that smoke that we're seeing out of config from spawn that goes above that jungle? I think that's landing on the T ramp for when the CTs are throwing Molotovs on the stairs. I saw him throw it and I watched the minimap, and that's the only smoke on the top side I can see. So they threw that in off the back of a B rush, but that's kind of a cool idea because it's feigning players committing behind a mid Molotov, and that you're not just rushing into the B bomb site. So that's a cool idea. I've not seen that done that way for Cole.
Yeah, so definitely. There was a round where I think their first B round rush, maybe they heard the mollies above, because there were not 1 but 2. There was the molly at the ramp and then the molly at party as well, at playground rather. So they're not going through any of that unless they've got smoke grenades, otherwise they're dead. So I think that was very telling of their intentions. So good awareness from Complexity to pick up on that and realize, we're seeing that. There's the second one that we're seeing now.
Yeah.
Don't think it landed though. I saw it on the radar. Well, on the X-ray flying through, didn't quite hit the mark. However, and the problem with those mollies as well is that a CT could be up around the around this giant pillar where the tree is. So often you've got to throw a pop flash to swing on that as well. But Complexity have dealt with this quickly, which makes a difference from their previous rounds.
Solutions, that's progress. Forest, he's making progress. He's pushed up with the flashbang, and the player spotted on the tree. He's going to get close to Pete, and the AWP is not ready. Forest is going to be able to trade, but he's stuck, trapped out on an island right now. And Yugi has him locked in, but the flash is good again.
Oh, look!
They're both tagged up. Yugi dinked through the tree, some lead through the wood, and he's down to 5.
Blame's just waiting patiently, hoping he can catch this player falling back from long, but Forest hasn't given the fight over. And so this means now that more long pressure needs to be applied from Yugi. Oh, he spots the boost. And that there is Rush doubling down, dealing with both players. Try to construct this defense. Heap left in a 1v5, but he is already here. He's in the smoke. They don't know Heap. Oh my word! A real chance for him, but JKS gets off the bomb and he helps recover that round for Complexity. That was a damn good try, right? I was believing with the smoke hide, the trigger discipline just for a second to try and maximize the kind of advantage from that forward position. Thankfully, JKS keeps his wits about him.
Yeah, that was a nice try for Forest and Freiburg going for the boost. I like the idea. Obviously, Cole, like you said, were just waiting. They knew that the Forest was trapped at long, essentially, and he had to cross out, so they could just kill him, either crossing or boosting. There was no way of really getting out of there alive. 10-3, though. Digger in a great position. Sip in the mystery sauce.
Gravy.
Wonders. Gravy. Did you say?
2 liters of gravy, man.
Drinking gravy.
That's how you get that train going.
If you drink gravy straight, do you drink it cold or warm though?
Oh, please warm.
Yeah.
Oh god, imagine it cold, coagulating and stuff.
No, yeah, that would be horrific, man. Gravy goes out real solid when you let it cool down.
Drinking gravy in any instance is great, you know.
I don't know, dude. It depends. Like, you know, if you've just like lined your stomach with something that requires gravy, it's all going to the same destination, isn't it?
True.
What does it matter how it gets there?
It's all about, you know, combining the flavors, Harry. Order is important.
And I do think about that stuff like gravy. Like when it's up here on the surface, I'm like, later on, that stuff's gonna be trying to stick together and create some kind of wall in my stomach. Like, is this really what I want for myself? Is this where I want to go with life? Coagulating stuff in my stomach? I'm not sure. But it's gravy, so you know, I'm English. Yeah. It's always gonna go down.
Gravy wall, and you've got to pay for it.
Plus, you'd rather like proper gravy than the watery stuff that definitely can't coagulate, you know? You ever seen anyone use like, they use gravy granules, but they make it like really, really weak?
Yeah, wet.
Oh, I don't like watery food. That's like the worst. The worst. I went to a diner in Vegas once, and they had like these like trays of cooked chicken breast just in about like half an inch of water just to keep them moist. It was so gross.
Yeah,
it was so gross. I lived full of regret that day. Full of regrets.
Do you still eat the water chicken?
Oh, never.
Fish, Harry, for the last time.
Go to a place like that again. It was barely edible. They also had this like steak omelet thing, and it was like a calzone made from egg. And that was also like, why
was that suspended in like a Jello mix to keep it at room temperature?
I just don't understand America. I just don't. Some of the things I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. Man, is sweet tea good though? Even though it's like 3 times.
No, dude, sweet tea is too sweet for me.
3 times your daily sugar.
I don't mind iced tea's great. Sweet tea is just like. You don't even taste the tea, you just taste the sweet.
Yeah, baby.
It's like sugar water.
Tooth removal.
Yeah. That's illegal in the UK, by the way, for those wondering. Sweet tea, illegal. Too much sugar. So it's damn good. Contraband is the best band.
Well, Short B is in control. See, JK's had a quick look behind him, see if the door's been blown off yet. On this occasion, it hasn't been. So Dignitas are mixing it up in that sense. Not even staying predictable. See some early kills regardless from Dignitas, and suddenly it's a 5-on-3. And they still got 4 players on the B bomb site.
Yeah, this is the most brutal round. Like, this is the most brutal beginning you could have had if you're Complexity. And it's not getting any better anytime soon. It's all on to one man. We're looking at Config here. Ooh, that's a nice little tap. All right, Config, you've got our attention now. You've got us interested. He's wrapping around onto the pit player, and there's the flash that leaves him blind. Harry will turn on a dime to put 11 on the board for Dig.
Mate, he full walked off of that flash. He did not care. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to peek him full blind. Maybe if he stops for a second and then re-steps in, he wins the fight, but he just fully committed while blind. Like, yeah, you're not going to win that if the player's looking at you, and they were. That's a great hole for Dig. Like, nice try for Config, makes it very close, but Dig, man, the Augs in control, holding down the bomb site. 4 players there and 11 rounds to their name. It's a desperate buy in number 15 for Complexity.
Safety in numbers on the filthy streets of Overpass. There's still no disabled access for these toilets, by the way. I've reported this to the devs, and they've done nothing about it. I'm very disappointed. Well, at least he's got the information also. He's still got Forest to help clean up. Only good for 1 though, and he could lose the AWP here, which could be very helpful to this team side. The transfers and the trades continue though, and JKS is left alone. The Lurkman rotating in, and Freiburg turns with a shot of the AWP. He will get that last kill. 12-3 at half-time. I haven't seen a score like that on Overpass in a very long time. But here it is. We'll see if Complexity can do anything and bring things back in the second half after the break. I just noticed on the player profiles during the break, it shows the coaches underneath, and key to the coach of Complexity, he is a demon at Among Us, I've got to tell you. I played a lot with him recently, and he gets the pen and paper out. He generally follows me around as well, because I'm a most untrustworthy person. I'm the biggest question mark, because I always just run around alone, so you never know if I'm murdering people or not. I tend to get voted off a lot, but it's okay. Blame it on race relations. Well then, Complexity are very far behind after a strong half from Dignitas. Actually, funnily enough, on the other side, Vendetta is probably the other demon among us. If you ever play with either of them, kill them first, because otherwise they're going to suss you. Dig creeping towards the A-bomb site. Everybody's upstairs to them. Crouch peek from Harry, and maybe we're on.
Yeah, this is it, right? Pace picked up, they're running in, and oh no, Blame is blind. The A site's gone already, and an immediate dink onto Config as well, leaves him in a rough spot now. There's Freiburg to deal with him. JKS left in the 1v4. That is an incredibly dominant pistol. And honestly, that could be the game right there. You know, moving on to 13, unless JKS does this nuts 1v4, but it's not going to happen, is it? That really could be the game solidified for Dignitas, because what's the response going to be now from Cole? Either you take the eco, you know, you give over 14, and then you get a pretty naff buy up against it, and that's your one chance, or you force buy now. And you know, equally, it's kind of pick your poison at this point, right? Both are a means to the same end, but it's just how do you want to get there if you're Cole? And they've gone with the force.
Yeah. Annoying call to have to make, considering, like you said, you know, up against 14, if they lose this, they can't, unless they're double forcing, which means they don't even play a single M4 in this game, which I'm not for. Like, you should be ecoing next round if you don't win this one, and then the unrealistic factor of playing for OT at 15-3 is just a bit sad, isn't it? But you know, the call's fine. There's nothing really else you can do at this point. It is 13-3 after all. Scout out on long, did find a tag. Blame going to throw a deep nade, but Freiburg's pushed up. He doesn't know. He has no clue. Freiburg with the flash, and he's got him dead to rights. That is annoying for Blame. He thought he had the angle on lock, but Freiburg sneaks up past the rock, and Dignitas take an early kill.
This was the pick of Complexity, it's worth mentioning.
Yeah.
Just to,
and they don't play train.
more of a credit to how strong Dignitas are looking. They're looking so organized, which is great to see as well. Wanted to see some development from them, and they've definitely shown us that for now. Being very patient in this 4-on-3. Yugi by Divider. Little jiggle from Forest. He'll show the bomb as well. And of course, some little rotation from JKS. some signs of brilliance, but maybe the clock is the best chance for Complexity at this point. 30 seconds as Dignitas look to collapse on the A bomb site. JKS spots one long. Up close, Harry will win that duel. That leaves Rush alone with the 5-7 versus 3. Maybe he'll pick up something on his journey here. But time is a problem no longer, and Heap will put him out of his misery. Very sharp shots from the Swedes.
Yeah, some really good aimers on this team, right? Don't need to tell you about the old Forest-Freiberg combo, but Heap and Harry are definitely talents in their own rights. And we know Halzak has been explosive with the AWP. We've not really seen a lot from Halzak this event. I would say, like, from the games I've seen from him, he's been... I don't even want to use the term bottom performer because that implies, like, he's not playing well. It's not the case. But yeah, we've not really seen him, you know, have to go crazy with this AWP. He's got 8 kills right now. Everyone else is stealing them, frankly. It's top site hits round after round in that T side for Cole, and Freiberg and Forest are running amok. Right now, it's Dig just setting up outside of B. Players in connector. Freiberg's already out the short side, and Cole are caught again. So they did double buy. Oh well, it's 14-3 at the end of the day, but yeah, like this leaves us in a position where they're not going to get one rifle round in the CT side, which is a bit dire. Unless they win it here and now, always a chance. Config with a kill, and it's contact down monster for Dig.
There's the entry into B. And here they go. More players to contend with though. Rush going wide now, moving away from his teammate. Behind the smoke is Config, falling back into the water. That will be heard. Warzak now hunting, and Config's got to try and buy time, try and stay alive. As Yugi up top, not for long. Oh my god, Heap's making it look easy. Is that a 2-bullet burst? That's all that's required. That's confidence.
Those are the kills that make you want to boot up CS, and then you realize you're not that good. And you can't hit that headshot with 2 bullets. But yeah, he makes it look easy.
It's insane to think that, you know, in spite of all these great rounds we've had at Harry and Heap in these last few since moving on to the T side, right? They're not top of the board, right? Forest's on 19, but then ahead of that is Freiberg 21-7.
Freiberg.
This is great to see. Like my nostalgia receptors are all tingly right now. I really feel them. Blame getting aggressive down through long with the FAMAS. But Freiberg, man, top of the board. Scary guy to run into right about now. You don't want to meet Freiberg in this dark alleyway, Blade. Oh, there it is. It's actually Forest to steal the kill away. And now Complexity. I mean, you know, if the scoreline isn't proving it enough, their time is just probably up here, right? A man down early on. You don't really have any weaponry. One of your best guns was just dropped over towards long. And, you know, having to say the FAMAS is one of the best is a little painful. The Eagle here on Yugi. I think he's only really got D kills in this game. Like,
nice.
I think 5 of his 7 kills are off of the Deagle, or pistols actually, because he got 2 with the Glock. So, Pistol King, is that going to be enough to save a round here for Complexity? Yugi spots them getting down connector, and that's a little bit of information, right? You still have a man lurking out late through long, but the real bulk of this hit is moving in down towards that B site, or at least that's the illusion they're trying to give over, because look, that bomb has gone back up the connector now to rejoin Forest. With no one committing into B, Cole have realized that this is not the B play, right? They're already rotating players back up, but it's given a little window over to Dig, and it's given them a lot more room over here in middle.
At least they separated the defenses. Well and truly baited into the B bomb site. 15 seconds though, and again there's a slight shadow advantage. Another one Dig from Yugi. They're lining up for him now. Config and JKS rotating from down below. Config's up quickly, however. It's made it a 2 versus 1. Needs up over the truck to get an angle on Heap, and there is a much needed 4th round. There will be a bomb plant at least for Dignitas, so they'll be able to buy, I believe. However, Complexity have kept themselves in the game for now. Long way back. 1 round at a time is what they need to focus on. Not 11 rounds, but 1 round 11 times.
Yeah, now they're actually going to be able to get a rifle round in, which is a nice feeling that wasn't actually looking realistic just a moment ago. But Cole saving 2 AKs and their own lifeline for now. M4s are out. FAMAS continues. Yugi, some good D shots in that round, and he softens up a few more players as well. Or the retake for Config, 4 for Complexity. Heavy out mid for Dig. Yeah, they could have bought, definitely. Halzak has money, Freiburg could have as well, but they are sticking with the Eagles. They are playing things safe, and a 15-4 scoreline, I commend Dig for doing that. I would be forcing. Oh, Harry. Oh, Blame is caught and killed, but Harry's got the backstab, and that's a nice trade to find himself an M4. There is armor available as well, so even more valuable here in a 4-on-4. What can this rifle do? Oh, the Dig's stealing the kills.
Surely they don't do it to them on the eco round, right? That's what you keep telling yourself. Surely this was another for Cole. Right now it's Dig with the man advantage moving down towards his B site. Now Complexity have at least got 2 here, right? They've at least put the majority of players in the right place at the right time. Rush. Important kill to get. Freiburg now removed means they can focus over here at Monster and Rush. He's going to lock it in. This should be the round for Complexity, and indeed it is. Rush gonna get 4 out of the 5 required in that round, puts 5 on the board for Cole, but that was just pistols, and even then, only 2 players survived for Complexity. Now that the real buy's back in for Dig, you are starting to get worried again. It's a long way to make this comeback happen. I don't think you're really believing in Complexity just yet.
But that eco in the previous was all for this, right? A full buy with everything, with the orb and the grenades. Double con setup, they're going to smoke the molly. Are they boosting for the gap? Yes. Nice spray for Blame. Couldn't even see Harry, who smoked the Molotov, and he gets away with that kill. So Cole, they bound out. I like the escape as well. Despite Dig being heavy in con, Cole want nothing to do with it. It's a heaven smoke coming through, but Dig aren't committing just yet. Hoping to get themselves at least 1 pick off. Nothing presented outside of B though. Boost coming up. Not going to be able to spot much here, considering it's a double monster setup, but Heaven player exchanging damage. That's Config. It's going to move out into the site now. Still 2 on top with the AWP as well. Ooh, spam. Precariously placed. And very well placed, in fact, by Config. Finding Forest escaping up to the top site as the rest of Dig cower back towards A.
Seems it's Dignitas' turn to feel the struggles of the T side. Just having 1 feather plucked at a time. Keeper may have just been spotted there. Well, now there's some confirmation of the smoke grenade, the lurk. Blame F is deep long though, so Yugi does not need to be too concerned with that. Waiting for that eventual mistake as he goes a little too wide there. Config still on the site though, and again, Blamef essentially, despite the smoke, has some kind of crossfire here. Down goes Freiburg, and suddenly it's just Halzak. Blamef comes at the very end to finish him off, and Complexity make it to 6. At least the rounds are strong, which does show promise for the comeback that's required.
Baby steps. It's not at a point where we're believing yet, but... And the sad reality is, all it takes is 1 round from Dig, right? They could just push us over the line in a clutch, but...
Non-believer. Shun the non-believer.
Yes, exactly. At the same time, yeah, we're seeing good signs for Cole. It's just a shame they come so late in the game. What's this in Spawn? Are they just messing around, or is there something? No utility. Blame, aggroing in mid. Dig. I believe in this round for Cole, at the very least. Should be 7.
Yeah, something that is kind of scary here is if Complexity do want to make this comeback happen, there's a real emphasis on individuals stepping up. And I think really you're looking at this trifecta of Config, Rush, and Blame to have to do it. It's a very, very quiet game from JKS right now, and Yugi's not really delivering too much either. That round there, he does deliver though. He puts up 3, so that's promising, right? If we could have a few more of these players starting to find their footing for Complexity, then that at least gives them a fighting chance. JKS, as I say, bottom of the board. I think he's on 4 kills right now. Yugi, up until that round, was on 7. Now he sits with 10, so things are, maybe starting to move in the right direction. I think, if you were looking at this game as a 3-on-5, which is almost how it was feeling before, there was really no chance for Cole. But if you even have someone else stepping up alongside the 3 that are for complexity, maybe there's still hope yet.
Knows his angles. Little wide peek there. Not going straight into the crosshair.
How do you close here, James? What's your go-to? If you're Dig, 15-7, you got a full buy, you got the rifles, you got the nades. What's your go-to right now?
Well, I think with all the rounds they've got to play with, I think there was a round prior where they were mostly towards short B and they realized how many Cole players were upstairs as they were racing back towards the A bomb site. So there was a window to try a brute force play. They wanted a longer, more methodical one, which didn't work out on that occasion. Kind of getting dried out like beef jerky in these rounds by complexity. But there's an early 4-on-4 at the very least. And I think we might be seeing exactly that. A forward play from Cole on A, and maybe we'll see a faster play into B here from Dignitas. Although Rush may be expectant of that, trying to pull off Harry as the rest of them are coming through the monster tunnel position. The trade fraggers here, though. JK is still alive for the time being, but Heap will keep the numbers equal as the rotation comes in from A.
Plant allowed. Oh, that's a lovely double nade. Dunked down onto Halzak on 10. And he's going to try and back up towards the pit, play it safe. The wrap coming around from Heap as well. Playing for the short side on that bomb. Halzak is just trying to stay alive, stall as long as he can. If you can get a kill with him, that would really set Heap up for the round and for the map victory. Halzak caught in the open. The smoke is good. Heap is cut off. It's down to smoke spam. They drop another on the bomb. He flashes. They're sticking with the kit as well. Left shot. And he's got it, but not enough. Oh, the last second save. Config rushes him, but I don't think there's time. I think that's the round and the map for Dignitas. Let's see. Yes, 16-7. Damn nice try for Cole, but only a couple of rounds on that CT side before they were eventually closed, and that is Dignitas running wild.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially they got an early pick-off, but the faster play into B, not drawing out the longer rounds because they tended to get worse. I think for both teams who were on the T side. So the fast play into B had enough numbers to trade frag, hold enough position. And again, as you said, Hugo, it's just the one round they needed with many opportunities, and eventually they will take it over the line. Although I think we could have seen a strong or just a strong half from complexity there had they have had a little more breathing room. On this occasion, they didn't, as we can see. So the score will look worse than it could have otherwise been.
Yeah, slow start, bit worrying, especially with Train coming up, right? Like, that's a map that Cole haven't really been playing as of late. And Dig, we already know that they dominated OG on day one. So I'm actually sitting here thinking a 2-0 is probably around the corner, but we're going to wait and see instead of predict, as it will be coming up in just a moment. Join us after the break for map number 2.